edition of the Stogie Review video review. If you're a returning visitor, well, you know who I am. If this is your first video review, I am Walt White from StogieReview.com, and here to do a weekly cigar review. And the review for this week just happened to come in as a request a couple of weeks ago, and I've been meaning to find an excuse to smoke this cigar. And this is the Ashton VSG. Now, these cigars are a little pricey, which is why I don't typically smoke them. I've had very few. I can easily say I've had under 5 since I've been smoking cigars. My past experiences with these cigars have been very good, so I'm really looking forward to what this cigar has to offer. This particular cigar is the Corona Gorda, which is a 46 by 5 3/4. Now, these are made in Santiago, Dominican Republic. They have an Ecuadorian wrapper, Dominican Republic binder, and also a filler from the Dominican. Now, this is coming courtesy of CigarCyclopedia.com. Rich Perelman goes on to say that this cigar was introduced in November of 1999 and brings a full-body taste to the Ashton line. It features an Ecuadorian-grown wrapper with extra layer of leaf to blend for maximum flavor. The all-box press series is offered in boxes of 24, except for the Enchantment, which is offered in boxes of 22, and the Wizard in boxes of 37. So let's move right along and cover some characteristics of the cigar. Now, aesthetically, the cigar looks nice. I mean, it's got a couple of medium-sized veins that run the length of the cigar. The stick feels nice and firm for the most part. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. It feels packed with tobacco, but it feels a little soft, and it's very consistent throughout. So I mean, it's it feels consistent throughout the entire length of the cigar. It just feels a little soft, but otherwise, it's very nice. The aroma is very rich, both on the wrapper and the foot, and I'm just really looking forward to smoking this cigar. The oils are very nice on the wrapper too. I mean, it's a nice oily cigar, and it looks to be constructed very well. It feels good. It doesn't feel soft. It doesn't feel like a shoddy cigar. It feels very well constructed. So let's get this cigar underway. And I'll be pairing this cigar with just bottled spring water. Nothing fancy. The pre-light draw is nice and easy. It's very flavorful. It's very rich and smooth. It's an excellent start, to be completely honest with you. And just going to quick toast and light this cigar, and then I've got a little story to tell you. I'm not quite sure how to put it. I've got a little demand list. The cigar is nice and smooth. It's very enjoyable, even from the first puff. I'm getting a good volume of smoke, nice even light. So far, it's doing really well. I'm happy with it at this point. But anyway, get back to my little story. Generally, I'm a relatively quiet person. I keep to myself for the most part. I'm just kind of laid back, and I'm the same way on most of the cigar forums. I usually don't speak unless I feel that I have something to add. And but anyway, I don't remember what the reasoning was, but I had walked past my front window, and I'm up on top of a hill, and I look down the hill and I see the postman putting mail in my box. No big deal, right? He's just delivering mail. So I go and I head to go down there and meet him. but I just happened to catch him out of the corner of my eye. He's balancing a box on top of my my mailbox, and I see him down there. He gets the box balanced, and then he heads off. I'm thinking, well, I didn't order anything, and I don't get involved in these bombing wars. There's no reason why anyone would send me anything, So I go down there to check it out, and I get the box, and well, sure enough, it's a bomb, and I knew that just by looking at the label, which is phony, of course. Return address is Smoking Aces, 5555 Cigar Live Lane, and well, I go on to open it and check it out, and sure enough, there's it's quite interesting. The cigars are well packed. It's pretty neat. Yeah, everything is well orchestrated here. I go in there and amongst a bag of very nice cigars, I find a little treasure map of my house, the local area, with an X marks the spot, and inside I found a demand which says, Walt, you must mention Smoking Aces in your next Stogie review, or you will pay. And the pay part is, I'm sure I'm going to get bombarded to death with more and more cigars, and well, I just can't have that. He goes on to say that he's never going to go away. He knows where I live. Obviously, he sent me a package, and he demands that I meet his demand. So just so I set the record straight, Smoking Aces, I happen to mention you, and you can kind of leave me be now. Unfortunately, I don't quite know who this perpetrator is, so I can't reciprocate the favor. But I really appreciate it. The cigars were really nice. I got a handful of them. Let's go through them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cigars. 8 cigars. 8 cigars, all of which look very nice. I'm not going to go through one by one what they are, but I really appreciate it, Smoking Aces, whoever you are. It was a very kind gesture, and as soon as I find out who you are, you'll also be receiving a little package from me. And most of these cigars I've never had before, so lucky for me, it's going to be a handful of new experiences and good first-time reviews. So once again, thank you very much for the cigar bomb. It was really caught me by surprise. And on that note, I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back in just a sec, and we'll get started on the review of the Ashton VSG. So see you in just a second. Welcome back, folks. I'm really enjoying my Ashton VSG at this point. The body starts off at about medium. It's kind of middle of the road medium, not real light, not real heavy. Again, we're right at the beginning of the cigar, so I really do expect that to build, especially after reading that there was extra Ligero in the blend to strengthen it. So I really do expect it to build as I smoke through the cigar. The draw is very free, and there's little resistance, and it produces a lot of good, thick, flavorful smoke. At this point, I'm really enjoying it. The finish is very smooth, and it's just easy on the palate. It doesn't hang around real long. You take a puff. It doesn't have any bite to it. You expel the smoke. Give yourself 30 seconds to a minute, and it'll fade. Your tongue and palate will feel nice and clean and ready to go all over again. The base flavor is, at this point, I think it's like a nutty flavor with some like a coffee kind of tone in there, and it's really nice. The most impressive thing about the cigar so far is just how clean and crisp the flavor tastes. I mean, it's just really appealing at this point. The burn line is a little jagged. I mean, it's wavy. The ash is a little flaky, but aside from that, I'm really impressed with the cigar so far. So I'm really hoping that it stays just as good throughout the entire stick, and if so, it's going to be a fantastic cigar. So I don't want to jump too far ahead, but at this point I'm just really enjoying it. And well, today's Monday. You should. I just spoke to Jerry. YQMA 17 should be up as of today, which is Sunday. And really fun episode. I was really glad to have Jerry back. It was a lot of fun to sit back and kind of get back to the way things used to be, because it was just a lot of fun back then. And yesterday was a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll see that in our faces as you watch that episode of Your Questions, My Answers. Also, don't forget to chime in and give me your answer to my proposed question in that episode. Really looking forward to hearing your input. So on that note, I'm going to take a quick break. The first part of the video got a little long, fulfilling that demand, so I'm going to cut this one short. I'll be back in just a second, and we'll get started with the second third of my Ashton VSG. Well, welcome back, folks. I'm still plugging along with my Ashton VSG, Corona Gorda size, and it's at this point it's just an awesome cigar. The base flavor has changed a little bit. That nutty flavor kind of faded. Now it's more of a woody flavor, and there's a little bit of leather in there. And it's just really crisp and clean and flavorful. I just can't get over how good this cigar tastes at this point in time. I'm just really enjoying it. The burn line is evened up a little bit. It's still a little wavy, but it's well within reason. I mean, this little bit is it's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned, and it could be 3 times as bad as it is, and I'd still be okay with it just because of how enjoyable the flavors have been so far. The draw remains to be very free, produces lots of thick, flavorful smoke. The body's creeping up a bit. It's not quite full yet, but it's getting there, and as I mentioned, the finish is just really smooth and crisp. It's short on the palate. You know, it fades about a minute after each puff. You just feel crisp, clean, and just ready to go again. I just can't say enough about it. I'm really digging the cigar. And another really good thing about the cigar is the room aroma. Now, as it's sitting in the ashtray, it puts off a fairly light amount of resting smoke, meaning that the smoke that's coming off the cigar, which you may or may not be able to see depending on the lighting. But that little bit of smoke puts off just a really nice, fairly light but just really enjoyable aromatic aroma. It's I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but it's really nice. It's the type of aroma that you look for when you go into a cigar shop, when you step in the lounge. You know, it's just that medley of just really smooth, nice smelling cigars where they all come together, and it's just fantastic. You know, it's just that type of aroma. I can't explain it. It's just really enjoyable, and it reminds me of a cigar shop where there's a couple of guys sitting around smoking, you know, high quality, really nice cigars. It's an excellent cigar. I definitely should smoke more of these, but unfortunately, the price tag kind of beats me up a little bit, and I don't get to smoke these nearly as much as I would like. But this one's going really well. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to take another quick break. I'll be back in just a sec, and we'll go over the final third, and maybe we'll wrap this up, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you in just a sec. Well, folks, welcome back for the final third of the Ashton VSG review. And, well, So far, it's been a fantastic cigar. It's the the body is still building. It continues to build. I was trying to mix those two words, but it's in the full range now. It seems as though it's going to build some more. It's not offensive. It's been a nice, slow, progressive build. There haven't been any like spikes or anything that kind of throw you off. It's been a nice, smooth, enjoyable, transition from being medium in the beginning to full now, and it seems as though it's going to keep doing that, and it'll get a little more and more full as I go. As I mentioned, running through the checklist in my head of what I want to talk about, I should really write this stuff down. Again, the body's full. The finish is still very smooth. It's easy on the palate. It's developing a little bit of a bite, but it's not bad. It's still very enjoyable. In certain cigars, I think that developing a little bit of a bite or an edginess toward the end of the cigar adds a little more character. It kind of pushes the cigar up a little bit onto another level, where it's really letting you know it's there before you finish it. It's not just I don't know how to describe it. I'm so out of practice doing this. I should have never taken that week off. But it's a nice edginess. I'm enjoying it. Let's just put it that way and make it easy on myself. The flavor, there's still some woody flavors to it, but it's predominantly leathery at this point. And it's also got almost like a tangy aftertaste. It's quite different, but it's really nice. It's probably from the sun-grown wrapper. And again, I'm just finding it very enjoyable. The burn line has evened out, a lot. It's really not wavy at all. And the burn line's very thin and shiny. It's nice and oily. It's a very attractive looking cigar, especially while it's burning. The ash is very light in color. It's relatively firm. I really have to tap it to knock it off, but it's a little flaky, or it's not really compressed. It kind of sticks out a little bit here and there, and just to avoid it falling on my keyboard, I've been tapping it off, and it takes a little work to get it off. Even if it's about an inch long, you have to give it a little tap to make it drop. It's it's not going to fall just from doing this, waving it around. So that's a really nice characteristic of the cigar. The draw remains very free. Still produces lots of smoke. The smoke is really light colored, just like the ash. It's really thick. It's easy to get through your sinuses, blow smoke rings, just do all that fun stuff with. And the aroma seems to be picking up a little bit. It's becoming a little stronger. It smells more like cedar at this point, but it's really nice. It rounds out the cigar very well. And that's about all I can think of. I'm just so out of practice, it's not even funny. Don't know what to say. I've just been really impressed with this cigar. It just tastes very crisp and very clean, and I just wish they were a little more affordable because I would smoke them a lot more often. This is a cigar that I'll definitely keep on hand for a special occasion. It's certainly enough of a cigar to keep pace with a good stiff drink. It's not something that's going to kind of get lost in a cup of coffee or anything like that. It's just it's very smooth and very flavorful, and it's very enjoyable to say the least. And well, I'd have to look. I can't think of who gave me the cigar. It was actually a gift. I'd received it in the mail a couple of months ago, I guess, maybe 2.5 months ago. And I'm really going to kick myself. I can't think of the person that sent this to me. And for that, I apologize. It was a Club Stogie member. And I'm going to have to look him up and send him a private message because the cigar was fantastic. Really appreciate it. I've got one more in the humidor. and I think I'm going to let it sit a little while longer. I bought that from a local cigar shop down in Exton, maybe, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. So the cigar's got a little bit of age to it, not much, but it's been a very good cigar. So I'm not going to babble on anymore. So at this point, I'm going to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Would love to see your comments, questions about the cigar, and just generate a little discussion. The comments have been great so far. We're averaging about 9 comments per day, and we love it. It's great to see activity on the website, so please keep it going. And with that in mind, again, thanks a lot for watching the video, and happy smoking. Oh, as far as, there was a suggestion that we should inform you what we will be smoking next. And I'm going to be smoking a Tampa Sweetheart number 50. I just happened to receive that cigar today in that cigar bomb, or yesterday actually. But it's a natural wrap cigar. I'm not going to smoke the Maduro. And it's supposed to be about medium bodied, so we'll see how it goes. It's comparable to the standard line of Arturo Fuente. They're actually second. So I have a general idea what I'm getting myself into, but I'm really looking forward to trying that cigar, because if it is as good as the Chateau Fuente that I enjoy, I think this would be a really good, affordable substitute, and it'll be about half the price. So I'm really looking forward to smoking that cigar, and that's what will be next week. So until then, happy smoking.